A Dallas homeowner returned from his summer vacation to find his backyard had been invaded, not by thieves, but by the power company. Crews had put buzzsaws to his trees on Westlake Highlands Drive near White Rock Lake. Here's CBS 11's Stephanie Lucera.
Kurt Kretzinger has owned this house overlooking White Rock Lake for nearly 20 years. After proposing to his fiancée in Europe, he came home to find his property looked different.
Came to my backyard and pretty much got sick at my stomach when I looked in my backyard. Now I know what people feel when they've been robbed, because I came back and my trees had been pretty much butchered.
Kretzinger believes Oncor, the company that delivers electrical service to about 3 million customers, trimmed his trees, damaged his fence, installed 3 new power poles, and left wires hanging.
This is my survey stake where my property line is. And as you can see, Oncor's actually placed the poles inside my property line.
Kretzinger knows the value of trees. He sits on the city's Urban Forest Advisory Committee. He says these slow-growing eastern cedars shouldn't be pruned in August, and when they are, no more than 30% of the canopy should be removed. Kretzinger says the power company cut much more than that.
They only grow 2 inches a year. These trees it'll be 30 years before they touch those wires again. So and that's even if they make it. I think they're too traumatized that they'll probably die.
Kretzinger is conferring with an attorney, and he plans to make several demands.
It's a slow-growing cedar that would take 20 years to get
within 10 foot of that conductor, it's going to get trimmed.
So even if it's a slow-growing,
it's going to get trimmed, regardless of species.
And this is definitely not the right time of year to be trimming trees. Well, I wonder why we didn't do that back in November, December, January.
I've trimmed 55,000 miles of line to trim. It's a 365-day-a-year job.
Can I request this at a better time when it's better for the trees?
No.
And that's 3 to 5.
3 to 5, yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to request that it's 3 at the most on that secondary line.
We have to have a proper lateral.
Well, it doesn't matter because these are cedars, are slow-growing trees. We don't.
See this right here, right there.
3 feet. 3 feet, not 5, not 10.
Look here.
3 or 5.
How to grow? Are we gonna see the other time?
We have to have a proper lateral. So we say 3 to 5. We're looking for somewhere in that 3 to 5 foot. We're hoping we find a lateral that we can cut that to, so they can go ahead and compartmentalize that wound, and that lateral can assume the role.
Okay.
See, that's why I say we're shooting for 3 to 5. We have to have a lateral. We're not just going to go 3 foot and stop.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking for a lateral that we can cut that. That right there is your secondary triplex. We need 3 to 5 foot from that.
Okay, so I'm going to request 3 foot.
They're cedars. They're slow growing.
Exactly. That's what I keep saying. And we're saying 3 to 5. I don't want 5.
There's a proper lateral.
If there's a proper lateral at 3 foot, then we're going to cut it at 3 foot. If it has to be 4, then we're going to have to go 4.
Okay. I'm asking if there's any way we can cut during the proper time of year, or if there's any way I can get some kind of a second opinion on what needs to be done. But you're saying there's no. We're going to cut these today, and I have no rights as a property owner, tree owner. They're going to be cut.
Right. We're going to come in and trim the trees.
Okay, that sounds great. That's the See, that's the damage. And what happened was, here's a tree, here's a tree. These are those eastern mountain cedars. And then this pole right here and that pole weren't here before. There was a third pole down there, but then, you know, that I don't know why I have 3 poles, and then from the survey stake, they're actually in my property.
Where's the survey stake at?
It's right on the outside of the fence. We can go there.
Okay.
So.
We have to set those poles in line with the rest of the poles.
Well, what if it's in my personal property?
It's, from what I understand, it's grandfathered in because it's in the pole line. It should be an easement.
We should have a utility road.
But if it's a new pole, that's a whole new game. I mean, I can understand grandfathered in if it's an old pole, but first of all, these are brand new poles that y'all never even contacted me about. I mean, here's my, and I wrote it down, my grievance is that there's 3 new poles were put in, that y'all never contacted me. They came in and demolished these trees. I know trees. These are eastern cedars, and they grow 2 inches a year, and then y'all put in the highest poles you can. These trees, if we did a laser light, they're 30, 40, 50 feet away from where y'all cut. It's just, there's a huge difference. And then even these, now people get confused. Now I know those are the AT&T, I mean, that's the phone line, the first lines, and the cable lines. Those aren't y'all's concern. It's the primary.
The next line up.
Yeah.
Low line right there.
Okay, now that line hadn't even been set on the pole. So here's the deal, y'all doubled almost. There's the other pole right there from where it used to be, and then y'all put these real tall poles. Y'all haven't even set the line yet, and yet they came in and whacked the trees when that line is going to be halfway up that pole. So why would they whack the trees, you know, before even put the poles?
Part of the trimming, I believe part of the trimming they had to do is in order to set the poles.
Yeah, they have to trim the trees before they set the poles.
Well, first of all, they shouldn't have been putting the poles in my property. I mean, I know y'all say that there's a grandfather easement. Why wouldn't y'all contact me, the homeowner, before y'all do this huge project? And these trees are destroyed. They can't survive this. This is August, and y'all didn't even give me the option to put the power lines underground, to tunnel them. Could I have done that?
That'd been at your cost, not our cost.
But did I have that option?
That pole would still have had to been there.
Why? That was a new pole. That pole's never been there.
Because of the clearance issue. Because of how that house, we built that house. That was what we
Well,
had to do.
that's the whole thing. The neighbor said y'all contact him in June, and then y'all tell me it was an emergency to get the thing done. Y'all had plenty of time to talk to me about this. My neighbor said they are in favor of having the poles, the power line buried. We are never given the option to bury the power line. I mean, look at these trees, guys. Those are demolished. I've got all the before and after pictures, and they're just demolished. They're butchered to where they're not going to survive. And if they're survived, they don't even look like trees anymore.
I agree with you. You look at the trees, I mean, they've been really cut tremendously. The other part of that